Well, what do you want me? What do you want me to answer, Molly, about the atrocity that is the Dallas Cowboys? I mean, what do you want me to say? The New Orleans Saints has more touchdowns at AT&T Stadium this season than the Dallas Cowboys.
They're bad.
This team is an abomination, and the way that they are structured, the talent that they have, should be much better.
Great prices on tickets to Cabo, Jamaica, and Cancun. That's the only place the Cowboys are going. It's over.
Hilarious.
And it's been over. Where you need to be really good at in order to compete in this league is the offense and defensive line. They're trash on both of them.
What do the Cowboys do now, in all seriousness?
Plan for next season.
How about them Cowboys? Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Drop a like on the video, go ahead and subscribe.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and Angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. And after yet another devastating loss at AT&T Stadium, Cowboys Nation is at a loss for words when it comes to our beloved team. One sports show isn't at a loss for words, and that's First Take. On today's episode of First Take, Stephen A. Smith, Molly Kiram, Dominic Foxworth, and Shannon Sharp give their harsh but accurate assessments on our Dallas Cowboys. So we're going to take a listen to the 3 clips that I got for y'all, and y'all know what we're going to do. We're going to come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Angry Cowboys fans, let's take a listen to the first clip from First Take.
Something wrong with Jerry, because I'm listening to these quotes and they make no sense. They're barely lucid and coherent enough to comprehend. I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand what the hell he's talking about when he's saying the things that he is saying. And I even brought up politics a little bit because I remember 9-10 months ago when I was right through the coals because I was talking about how Joe Biden, I didn't think he was going to make it to the Democratic National Convention. I saw flagrant slippage and somebody needed to do something about that in the Democratic Party. And, you know, lo and behold, we all know what ended up happening. And with Jerry Jones, this is football. It's not politics, but somebody, I'm looking at Stephen Jones. I'm looking at family members, children, grandchildren, etc. It's like, do y'all hear him? Are you listening to him? Do you think this makes any sense? You're at these games. You're around him. You're around him. You're around there. And I just don't, it's not even funny anymore. I know I was trolling him last night and stuff like that, but you know, waking up this morning and then listening to what he had to say, it ain't even funny to me. I know it's funny to Shannon. Don't blame him. But I like getting on the Cowboy fans, and I enjoyed their misery. But this, I mean, they've stripped the fun out of this because of how god-awful they have been. I can't believe how bad they are. And to listen to him talk, it makes no sense, y'all. It makes no sense.
I tell you, Cowboys Nation, don't be surprised if Stephen A. Smith runs for office in the near future. But anyway, I have to say this, Cowboys Nation. Stephen A. Smith is correct in his assessment of Jerry Jones. It makes absolutely no sense what he has been saying as of late. It's not even been this season, Cowboys Nation. He's been talking this way for years now. So when will the people around him have the guts to tell him that he may need to hang up his role in the Dallas Cowboys organization, or will he allow the ship to continue to go down due to his inefficiencies at the GM role? But jumping into the second clip that I got for you, Stephen A. Smith gives some harsh facts when it comes to our Dallas Cowboys underneath Jerry Jones's ownership. So let's go ahead and take a listen so we can come back and talk about it. Roll the clip.
First 7 seasons for Jerry Jones with the Dallas Cowboys, 11-2 playoff record, best in the NFL, 3 Super Bowl championships. The last 29 years, 5-13 playoff record, 5th worst in the entire NFL. So, Molly, he was actually closer to being right with that number 6 in terms of wins. No, this is the number of losses. He's 5th in the number of playoff losses.
Gotcha.
Right? No Super Bowls, no conference titles. He's had more head coaches, 7 head coaches in that span. So over the last 29 years, they haven't won anything. He's had more head coaches than playoff wins, okay? And by the way, they've been one and done in the postseason 8 times since 1996. The only team in the entire NFL who has been worse is the Indianapolis Colts. 10.
There was some sad but true statistic when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys while being under Jerry Jones' ownership as well as the Jones family ownership. Not one championship game appearance since 1995. People can blame the players all they want, but we all know who's to blame for the championship drought in Dallas. I'm going to talk about that more during my Raw and Uncut portion, so make sure you stick around for that. Now, going into the final clip, Dominic Foxworth hits on a couple of the main issues the Dallas Cowboys are facing. The main issues that need addressing during the offseason and in the draft. The offensive line as well as the defensive line. So let's take a listen so we can come back and unpack this Raw and Uncut. So, Cowboys Nation, let's go ahead and take a listen to Dominic Foxworth.
When they had that really good team that Dak took over, it's always been about the offensive line. You'll get the best out of your players if you have a quality offensive line.
Yeah, I know.
They've
I'm a
been-
Giants fan. Yeah.
Yes, you're aware of it. So they've been investing in O-line through draft picks, but they haven't hit yet. And Zach Martin is a Hall of Famer, but he's not playing like it right now. And that's the problem. You'll get the best version of your quarterback if you protect him. In their running backs, I think it's also not just offensive line. They need running backs that are additive. These guys are not getting more than is expected of them right now. They're not helping out their offensive line. So I think that's where you start on the offense. The defensive issues, I think, are more about stopping the run. And they do have a team that's designed to rush the passer and create turnovers. It's a hard way to live, particularly when you're not able to score points because you can't run the ball, you can't protect their quarterback. So the way that teams are built, or like the Lions are built, or like the old Cowboys were built, from inside out, you got to get that O-line and D-line secure.
The success of the Dallas Cowboys has always come from having a great offensive line. We all know this, Cowboys Nation. Quarterbacks have been more successful when the Dallas Cowboys have had a great offensive line, allowing their quarterback to throw from a clean pocket, as well as creating lanes for the running backs to run through. Our current O-line is a shell of its former self. So let's go ahead and crack open that shell, shall we? Y'all ready for my Raw and Uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. See? This is why I don't put the lion's share of the blame on the quarterback. This is why I don't put the lion's share of the blame on any player. One, because I know and I understand the game of football. And two, I know that in any football game, victory is decided in the trenches. The battle is won at the line of scrimmage. How many times have you heard me and other Cowboy content creators say the exact same thing? You have to have a decent offensive line in order to get your offense going. You can have the greatest quarterback in your backfield, but if your offensive line can't keep him protected and can't keep him clean, you will not have success in the NFL, Cowboys Nation. Sure, you may be able to get to the playoffs, but you won't survive in said playoffs. I know I'm going to have someone mention the 2022 Cincinnati Bengals and how Joe Burrow didn't have a great offensive line that year. My rebuttal? Did they win the Super Bowl? One thing I wish Cowboys Nation would stop doing is comparing the Dallas Cowboys to the outliers. Stop comparing the Dallas Cowboys to the exception instead of the rule. Some fans do that with the quarterback position. Some do that with the running back position. Some do that with the other players. Some with the coaches. But the comparisons take the entertainment right out of the sport, Cowboys Nation. But I've mentioned this on several occasions. I mentioned this on a number of my videos and my lives, but it seems as if the Dallas Cowboys owner, his son, and the coaches, they try to fit pieces of the puzzle in places that they don't fit, Cowboys Nation. Like when we drafted a right tackle and expected him to flex over into a completely different position. The same with Cooper Beebe. What if, and I'm spitballing here, Cowboys Nation, but what if you kept these players in the position that they played while they played in college? Do you think that they'd have more success in the NFL? Everybody can't be Tyler Smith and become a Pro Bowler at a different position. The learning curve for some may be insurmountable. They may not be able to shine the way they did in their natural position. Man, I swear, the Dallas Cowboys rely on this position flex stuff way too much, Cowboys Nation. Sometimes to the detriment of the player's development. But I have to agree with Stephen A. Smith on his assessment of Jerry Jones. The thing I don't agree with is the way that they're talking about it now. They act as if this just started happening. Jerry has been losing his grip for quite some time now, Cowboys Nation. As much as nobody wants to admit it, I feel it's time for Jerry to hand over his keys and his license and allow somebody else to drive this bus. The problem with that is that Jerry has spent his entire career surrounding himself with yes men that no one has the balls to stand up and say that his driving is driving the team off of a cliff. Y'all saw what happened to somebody when they questioned him. Their jobs got threatened and they didn't even work for the man. So you could imagine if someone stood up and voiced their opinions and concerns, they would be cleaning out their desk so fast it would make your head spin. But I got a question for you, Angry Cowboys fan family. This year, how many times have you said something along the lines of, "What, Jerry?" Or, "What the hell are you talking about, Jerry?" A lot, right? I know people were saying that when Jerry was trying to explain what he meant by going all in this past offseason. I know people were saying that when he was answering the questions while on the bus during the draft. I know people had the WTF moments when he brought Zeke back without drafting a young running back in last year's draft. But when it comes down to the come down, Cowboys Nation, I truly believe that Jerry Jones is a master at promoting the Dallas Cowboys brand. He is a genius when it comes to marketing the Dallas Cowboys, but he is completely inept when it comes to building a championship team. I don't want to hear about the 90s Dallas Cowboys because he was able to build a huge part of that team before the salary cap was even implemented in the league. He already had one Super Bowl before the league implemented the salary cap. He was able to win the one Super Bowl in 1995 by retaining a good portion of the 92 and 93 teams while adding a major piece in Deion Sanders. After that, Jerry has struggled in building a roster and a coaching staff great enough to make it to a championship game. This is why I put all the blame on the ownership and not somebody like Dak Prescott. I will point Jerry Jones out before I point the finger at a Micah Parsons or a CeeDee Lamb. I'm a fond believer in seeing what has worked for the team and adding to what has worked, not tearing apart the team and relying on rookies to get us over the hump. No offense to the rookies on this team, but I have never seen a team filled with rookies make it to a Super Bowl and win the damn thing. It takes a mixture of different moving parts in order to get to a Super Bowl. We keep looking for that player that can get us over the hump in the draft, knowing damn well that type of player lies in free agency. But I put the majority of this year's inefficiencies on Jerry and Stephen Jones. I put our lack of success this year on the shoulders of Jerry and Stephen Jones. I put it on their lack of movement during the offseason. I put it on their lack of being proactive and their tendency on being reactionary owners, only making moves when it's absolutely necessary. This has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. So where do we go from here, Cowboys Nation? How do we finish out this season, and what should be our focus coming out of yet another disappointing loss at home? Y'all know what we doing. Let's go ahead and talk about it in the comment section. If you're digging the content and want to help get it out to even more Dallas Cowboys fans, drop a like on this video and share it with whomever you know is a Cowboys fan. If you are DC for life and hope to see Jerry hand over the keys to this organization sooner rather than later, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release a video, podcast episode, or Madden 25 or College Football 25 gameplay. And I gotta give a huge shout out to ACF family member Zach for supporting this channel and helping fund the ACF film breakdown segment. I said something about it at the end of my last video, and he wasted no time in donating to the cause. I just want to say I went out and I got the tablet today, and because of him, the Angry Cowboys fan family will be enjoying some Dallas Cowboys film breakdown from yours truly. So thank you, Zach. Thank you for all of your support with the Angry Cowboys fan brand. Also, please message me on either Facebook, TikTok, or X so I can get some information from you so I can send you a custom-made Angry Cowboys fan hoodie. I just want to express my gratitude to you, fam. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan, and I'm out.
Dang, Angry Cowboys fan,
you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.